Greetings, pilots! Let's talk about some essential things for successful air combat. About the afterburner, flaps, optimal altitude, and other important things. It's a basic principle of air combat that whoever is higher has the advantage. Diving is very useful for gaining speed for an attack. Try to gain altitude at the start of a match. The rate of climb parameter shows the rate at which the aircraft gains altitude without losing speed. You can climb faster by using the afterburner. This mode gives you a temporary boost to the engine's power at the cost of overheating. Every aircraft has its own afterburner time, with heavy fighters having the longest continuous activation. Let's use them as an example and review how to use it properly. As the match starts, set your plane at a 30-degree angle above the horizon and start climbing. Climb rate should not drop below optimal. An indicator on the HUD helps in this task. As soon as the marker gets to the edge of the bright green area, engage the afterburner. Once enough speed has been gained, disengage it. Repeat this cycle until the desired altitude is reached. Make sure you never lose so much speed that your aircraft goes into a stall. Choose a target from the enemies below you. If it moves on a parallel course, dive into an attack. If the target moves towards you, wait until it's right under you. Now make a split. Roll the plane over and dive from this position. Remember that your speed will be much higher than that of your opponent. Make sure to avoid a collision. If your plane has powerful weaponry and can destroy an enemy fast, then it's better to attack when having a high speed. If the target is destroyed, climb back up, use the afterburner wisely, and pick your next target. If you fail to destroy the enemy, you should probably climb back up anyway. You'll be safer and will have a chance to look around from on high. This technique is called boom and zoom. The second way of attacking from a dive is tailing an opponent. Match your speed to his. To do this, lower the engine's power and activate the flaps. Once your speed is equal, shoot the target until it is destroyed. The flaw in this technique is losing your speed. Climbing back up will be harder than after using the boom and zoom. While in combat, try to keep track of the map. It shows Allied planes, ground targets, and spotted enemy aircraft. You can see their numbers and destination. When you press and hold the Alt key, you can see the markers that represent plane types. To get additional info, toggle on the radar display in the game settings. With its help, you can instantly see the positions of nearby enemies. If the triangle representing the plane is filled, it means that the plane is higher than you. An empty triangle means it is lower. Try not to leave your plane's optimal altitude for long. You can check the numbers in your garage in the selected aircraft's parameters. While maintaining optimal altitude, the plane has its best mobility and speed. If you fly higher or lower, your plane loses performance. Switch on the indicators on your HUD and you can track your position with them. The altitude band is found on the right side. The optimal altitude range for your plane is marked with a bright green color. A high altitude is not only useful for attacking, you can use it to escape from someone on your tail. However, this only works if your plane can dive faster than that of the opponent's. You need to know the parameters of your own plane as well as those of the enemy's in order to effectively utilize this technique. In general, heavy aircraft can escape from light ones by diving. Thanks to a great afterburner time, the heavy fighters are good at climbing and have a very good diving speed. These planes are great at vertical maneuvers, but they are unsuited for a turning fight. There are, however, planes which are made for horizontal combat. Which maneuver type is better for an aircraft is determined by its design. All biplanes are good at turning. The jets are best at vertical movement. The parameters of single-engine monoplanes depend on the nation. The Yaks and the Japanese fighters are in their element in a turning fight. German and American planes perform better in vertical combat. The LA series fighters are good all around. An aircraft's mobility also depends on the installed modules. The heavier the weapon's loadout, the worse the plane is at turning. Many fighters in World of Warplanes can be configured to two schemes, either as a mobile hunter or a heavily armed but slow interceptor. Depending on your style of play, you can boost your mobility or your firepower. There are limits though. Even if you make your heavy fighter lose as much weight as possible, it'll not be able to outturn a light aircraft. Another way to tighten your turn is the use of flaps. They're used to lower the plane's speed and for pulling the nose around faster. The slower you fly, the smaller your turning radius becomes. Don't slow down too much and risk putting your plane into a stall, however. Keeping your speed in the green area is generally the most effective approach. Flaps are also useful in other situations where you need to lose speed fast. For example, when you're tailing someone or when someone gets behind you. You can lower your speed to a point where the opponent will fly past you. Suddenly, hunter and prey have switched roles. That is all. Good luck in battle!